CuriosityStream has thousands of documentary films and shows available on demand on any device. We're the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, the Disney Plus for the scientist in us. There sure are a lot of streaming services, aren't there? CuriosityStream is the one you definitely need if you're the type to nature dock and chill, if you're an armchair astronaut, if you prefer physics to psychics, or perhaps you know a precocious paleontologist. Go to curiositystream.com to learn more and sign up today.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
For summer barbecues, road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
Hundreds of new exclusive stations, plus all your favorite local radio stations and podcasts. It's all on Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
Dolphin, Gator, just legendary.
Legendary dude. He's a senior vice president with the team for a long time, but when he had that Dolphins uniform on, look out. And, you know, he is 305, man. When you talk about, like, OGs,
yeah.
Now, I know he spent the time in Gainesville, but grew up in Miami, went to Edison, played college ball. He's a Gainesville Hall of Fame guy, right? Yeah. University of Florida Hall of Fame.
He's going to get me in soon.
He's going to get you in. He's arguing for you.
Don't strong arm him.
Played his entire career with the Miami Dolphins. He is 305, up and down. He is joining us now. Nat Moore. Hello, Nat.
How you guys doing, man?
We're good. It always feels good.
Hey, Hawk, there's one thing scary when you start buttering me up like that, and calling me a legend. That's like calling me old and a sly. I figured that out, right? But, being a local kid that went to Gainesville, made good, but still a big supporter of UM, we have a little bit in common.
Well, I was buttering you up a little bit because my Miami Hurricanes, as you know, will open the college football season against number 1 Alabama. And Miami's ranked number 14 in the nation. Gators are ranked number 13, so they're pretty evenly assessed going into the college football season. Crowder doesn't believe that Miami can shock the world and beat Alabama. I do, Nat. I do. I know there's no question there. I'm just telling you, I believe the Hurricanes can shock the world.
No chance.
Well, let me put it like this, Hawk. You one of 3.
We are?
You are one of 3 that believe that.
That's it? I thought he was going to say we're one of 3 programs in the state of Florida
The sad part is
one of 3.
In 3 weeks, we get Alabama as well at home, and we haven't beaten them there since, I think, 2011.
Yeah. I don't look forward to it, though, Nat. I'm not being naive. They are monsters.
Listen to these 2 scurred little Gators on the line here. Wow. I'll tell you, you think you know a program. These guys are backpedaling already. I mean, I'm ready to go week 1.
It's not backpedaling when you give someone their just due, and you have to give Nick Saban and the University of Alabama their credit. They were national champs last year, and they ranked number 1 in the polls. Now, that don't mean you don't go up there and try and beat them, or when they come to you, you don't try and beat them. But by the same token, you give them credit, and then you go out and play your heart out, and hopefully at the end of the game, you've got a victory.
And now, how do you talking about college football, man? How do you like all these changes? I'll go through a couple of them. First off, Oklahoma and Texas being added to the SEC. How do you like these realignments that are going on?
That doesn't bother me as much as some others, because, so much is always made of the fact that you have great teams and conferences where there's no competition and they automatically in the running for the national championship. Now, when you got to go through that gauntlet as you do in the SEC, and then you make it to the playoffs, you know that you've stood the test of time and you deserve it. So, I mean, I would love to see where more teams, or more, should I say, more conferences had better talent. I mean, if you remember, the big knock early on back in the 80s was that UM was independent. Then they went to the Big East, and then the ACC. So, a lot of times, because you're not going through the gauntlet, And Notre Dame is even worse because they're not even in a conference. They pick and choose when they want to play the best teams.
Yeah, UM might have stayed independent because they ain't won the ACC ever.
All right, settle down
tough guy.
Settle
Facts.
down.
We're just talking facts.
All right, settle down.
I didn't say that, Shannon. You did.
And Nat, one more thing, man. I've never talked to you about this. The NIL stuff. Because speaking of Alabama, the Alabama quarterback hadn't played a snap yet in college football, Nat. He has $1 million already on the table for, sponsorships using his name, image, and likeness. How do you feel about them college players getting millions, plural, millions, if they're at a big enough school? How do you feel about this new NIL stuff?
Well, I mean, I think at some point the ability to get some benefits is super important. But, football is still a team sport. And, I don't care who you are. If your teammates don't play well, you don't excel. Football is the ultimate team sport. So, therefore, all those other guys who are busting their hump, not getting too much of anything, once again, they've gotten left behind. And I tell you what really bothers me with all of this is, everybody don't make it to the NFL. And there's a lot of guys that get beat up, broken up, especially Scout Squad. Scout Squad is so critical to the success of a football team because they have to give you the right picture for you to be prepared to play on the weekend. Well, when your career ends in college or you graduate or whatever, you get to take all those injuries and stuff with you. So you're not getting millions of dollars. You're not getting thousands of dollars. And there is no workman's comp in college football. So when I see guys that are all beat up and broken up from their days in college, that part is still mind-boggling to me that college football can make this kind of money, but let guys leave with no help with the injuries that's going to bother them the rest of their lives.
Yeah, that's why the
NIL
NIL
stuff. We have workman's comp.
Yeah. No, that's why the NIL stuff, I love it in college football because you have a small window of opportunity, and you know it as well as anybody that not a lot are going to go on to play professional football. And so if you can make some money while you're there, why not? I like the way you put it there. You're bringing those injuries with you. I have no problem with them making money,
but I would just love to see them take care of everybody, especially from a medical standpoint where, guys that come from little means, when their career ends and they go back home, they don't have the finances and et cetera to be able to take care of those injuries.
That makes a lot of sense. That really does make a lot of sense. Nat Moore is with us, talking about football and being on the field, and you played with a couple great quarterbacks, Bob Greasy, Dan Marino. Dolphins fans have some legit excitement heading into this season, Nat, and I think the excitement ramped up a little bit watching Tua and the offense, drive downfield pretty easily against the Bears on Saturday. Unfortunately, the real good drive there ended in an interception in the end zone. But you, being a guy that's played around great quarterbacks, did you think Tua looked good Saturday, looked composed? Because he certainly did to me.
I think Tua looked good all week. I actually went up and was there for practice versus the Bears during the middle of the week. And what encouraged me probably more than anything else is to see what went on in practice and watch the team elevate their game starting from Wednesday, having a rough offensive day, to Thursday where they started to figure it out and run the football and get some gaping holes, to all of a sudden we're playing the game and we run the football right at the Bears. And we hold on to the football for 21 minutes of the first half. There's only 30 minutes. We held the ball for 21 minutes. And when you look at the preseason and you look at games, you never look at the score because the score doesn't matter. It's how you start with the guys that you think are going to be here with you during the season. And in the first half, to look at how well our defense played, to look at how well our offense played, that's encouraging. This week will be a different test, because, unlike the Bears with the high-powered defense, you got Atlanta coming in with that high-powered offense. So this will be a great test for our defense this week.
And that, the first-round draft pick, Jalen Waddle, he's 5'8", 180. You're 5'9", 180. You're not the Megatrons, but very similar body types. Like, what do you see out of Jalen Waddle? Do you like what you're seeing out of Jalen?
I love what I'm seeing out of Jalen. You know what Jalen does that Megatron never did? Scare the hell out of people because he can score from anywhere on the field.
Yep.
You know, when you have that kind of quickness and athleticism, all you want to do is get the ball in his hands in open space. And he will be a guy that will create opportunities for others because people will scheme to try and keep him out of the end zone. And that's important to an offensive coordinator because now you can use him as decoy as well as you can use him as your home run hitter. So I love what I see out of him, and especially in practice, Channing. You know, he has such great practice habits. He's always finishing the play. Every time he catches the football, he turns upfield, and he dodges an imaginary defender and tries to score, runs another 20 yards or so. I mean, that's built in his nature. So therefore, in the game, it won't happen by mistake because that's the way he practices.
Man, I hope to see that over and over and over again this
for 10
season.
years.
For 10
No,
years,
not
you're
just
right.
this year.
For 10 years. You talk about, seeing it in practice. This new Dolphins practice facility, I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Crowder? You've been out there?
It's so nice.
How does it compare to the practice facility when you were playing, Nat? Because everything I see in the media, there's slides. I want to know, when you walk into that Dolphins practice facility that Stephen Ross built, how does it compare to the practice facility you walked into when you were playing?
Well, first and foremost, there was no comparison. And back when I played, you didn't care about the practice facility. You just wanted a chance to play. So when I look at the old Biscayne College, now St. Thomas, and the chicken wire fence and the nails to hang your clothes on and a weight room that probably was about the size of my office, it's like night and day. I mean, and I think Steve Ross said it best. He wanted to give them the best in class, and now they've got everything. There's no excuses. It's up to the players now. You know, I think coaches do a phenomenal job of getting players prepared during the week, and that's how you win. But on Sunday, the players, game day, the players have to go out and execute. And the players have no excuses. You've got great coaching right now, and I think Brian Flores and Chris Greer have done a phenomenal job of changing the culture. Steve Ross has given them everything they need for the players themselves. The game room, the barbershop. Channing, you ever remember getting your hair cut at practice?
No, that was these young kids, Nat. That's what these young kids get.
This thing is absolutely amazing. All of the benefits that are in the Baptist Health practice facility. So, there are no excuses. Now it's up to the players to go out and deliver, and, they're working hard. I'd like to see a couple of our guys that's been banged up get healthy here real quickly and get some work with Tua. Tua is going through the process, but, 4 of the top receivers are all banged up here the last week or two.
And just back to Stephen Ross quickly, Nat, because you're a part of the Dolphins. You're high up. If I need anything, I call you first. People know that about us. But, bro, from the remodeling of the stadium, then the Miami Open stuff when it wasn't going to be down here and Stephen Ross stepped up, the concerts, the soccer, now the training facility, the F1 track that's going around. Are you even surprised when you hear some of this stuff in meetings, the new things that Stephen Ross is doing with this stadium and with this organization?
I wouldn't say surprised because I know Steve Ross, and he's always thinking of what next. And it's a credit to who he is and what he's all about. And what most people don't understand, he lives in New York. His business is in New York. But he grew up here in Miami, went to Miami Beach High School. He cares about South Florida. When the pandemic first hit and everybody was laid off, the first thing he did was what? He created a meal distribution plan where we gave out over nearly $5 million worth of food relief. I mean, that's the kind of guy Steve Ross is. And when the tennis was going to leave South Florida, he stepped up and built a new tennis facility out here. I mean, you know, he's a builder, and he's a guy that cares about communities. And you know what he's done here, not just in Miami. Think about it, Miami Gardens. Miami Gardens right now have not only the Dolphins stadium, but their practice facility and everything that we're doing is right here in Miami Gardens, back in Dade County now.
No, Miami Dolphins, the organization, they really they are community stalwarts. But you call Nat when you need something for the Dolphins? Because I've been calling Kim Bocamper. Dude doesn't even return my calls. Like he says it.
I love Kim now, but Nat's a little further up the old hierarchy.
I gotta figure out my game plan from now on. I don't know what I made a mistake.
Well, now you can reach out to Kim. He's back in town. You know, he was out in California for a little while. You know, but he's back and doing a great job. For WFOR, as well as you know what he's doing with our players out there. You know, I mean, Bo does a good job with the coaches show and some of the other things. So you're talking about a guy that's sort of like me. He's a lifer. You know,
he is a lifer.
And the difference is, I grew up here. He came from California, made his home here, because he loves South Florida so much.
Maybe you'll invite me into your suite, Nat, for a couple of Miami Hurricane games this season at Hard Rock. We'll rock our Canes gear. We'll throw up the U.
Nope.
Let me be pretty honest and candid about that. Me inviting you would not work, because there would be no justification I could come up with. But the gentleman that's next to you, Channing Crowder, has access.
Unbelievable.
And he can always bring a guest.
Unbelievable. I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
For whatever reason it may be, hockey's never invited you. I don't know what's wrong, man.
He doesn't hang with me, Nat. He doesn't even really like me. I think we're just work friends.
Listen, you try to tolerate this guy 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. You spend 20 hours a week with him, Nat. See if you want to go to a game with him. Nat Moore. We love when football season rolls around. We get to talk to Nat Moore a lot. We will talk to you soon. Thank you as always, Nat.
Hey, my pleasure, guys. Enjoy. Have a great day.
He is fun to talk to, man.
Yeah. On Pod Save the World, we want to be your cheat sheet for global events. My name is Tommy Vitor, and each week, my co-host Ben Rhodes and I break down the biggest stories from around the world. Ben and I both worked on President Obama's national security staff, and we'll introduce you to the activists, politicians, and journalists who can help us understand what's going on around the world, what it means for the United States, and what it's like being inside the White House Situation Room during a crisis.
Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your pods.
CuriosityStream has thousands of documentary films and shows available on demand on any device. We're the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, the Disney Plus for the scientist in us. There sure are a lot of streaming services, aren't there? CuriosityStream is the one you definitely need if you're the type to nature dock and chill, if you're an armchair astronaut, if you prefer physics to psychics, or perhaps you know a precocious paleontologist. Go to curiositystream.com to learn more and sign up today.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
For summer barbecues, road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
Hundreds of new exclusive stations, plus all your favorite local radio stations and podcasts. It's all on Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.